Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Paulie Mania here. Bring you a little thing about this whole Chris Jericho comeback. Now, I know I said stuff. I talked about it. About after when I did my video after Raw. But now I've been thinking about this, and I have a little different opinion about his comeback now. Now, this is just my opinion. I want to hear from you. If you agree with me, disagree with me about it. But let's think about this. Jericho, Y2J, the Ayatollah Rock and Roller. Not his first time doing the comeback thing. And the way he came back this time is like the same way he came back last time. You know, let's think about this. He left in 2005. When his contract expired, but he lost to a match with John Cena and Bischoff fired him. Bischoff turned on Jericho and he fired Jericho, but then his contract expired on August 25th, 2005. Alright? So, he took some time off, came back in 2007 when he was doing those Matrix videos were popping up. And then it was, he was going to save us from something, break the code breaker, his finishing move, the code breaker. So, he came back with Randy Orton, feuding with Orton. Then what happens? He comes, then he turns heel again. Attacks Shawn Michaels. Him and Shawn Michaels had, that feud that was a does the highlight reel comes back, this and that. So it's like I feel then he leaves, wins the world champion a couple times, wins the world championship, Intercontinental champion. Was with the late Lance Cade in his corner. Teams with Big Show, of course, Jericho. Then that ends. Main events, WrestleMania against Edge. Doe has the feud with Mickey Rourke. And the Legends at one WrestleMania. It was what, WrestleMania 25, WrestleMania 26. And has a few, with Punk and this feud and that feud. But then, he gets punted in the head in Orton in 2007, and he leaves again. In 2007, he leaves. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. He comes back in 2007, the first time. Leaves in 2000. He's only been gone for 2 years, people. It's not that big thing to get, I'm sorry, but I like Jericho too, but it's not that. He's only been gone for 2 years, like the last time. 05, came back in 07. 07 to 010, leaves in 010. What does he do? Dancing with the Stars. Doesn't even win that. I like Jericho too. Been watching Jericho since the WCW days. When he was, doing there. And then, he came to WWE 99, but he has nothing else to prove. And he's doing the video thing again. They showed the videos. So what's going to happen now? He does his thing. All of a sudden, this whole storyline is going to drop eventually. He's going to probably bring back the highlight reel. He's going to get into a couple of feuds. He's probably going to turn heel. Because, Jericho as a heel is usually, that's, he's better as a heel, I think, anyway. But, so, oh, and also he did, Wade Barrett. He was the NXT, superstar with his rookie, Wade Barrett. Now look what Wade Barrett's been. So this whole Jericho coming is not that big of a deal for me. Like, because all of a sudden he's going to leave again. So, and you know what? It's like Jericho comes back, The Rock comes back, Kane with the mask comes back, eventually Undertaker's come back, Triple H, what is this? I hope WWE goes back to PG-13 because it sounds like they're bringing, Foley came back for a little bit, Austin came back with Tava. Unless they start getting them in storylines and stuff, well, The Rock does. Jericho will be eventually. Kane with mask now does. Cena. Undertaker, I mean, and you know what? And who is she with Jericho? Who are they gonna bring out? New diva? She has the thing. We gotta break another code. Is this mystery time? I mean, come on. So it's it's not a big top superstar that's gonna compete again. and he'll leave us again. So that's my thoughts on the Chris Jericho comeback. I mean, and all these old superstars come back that were big in the late '90s and early 2000s. Maybe WWE is going to go back to PG-13. I hope so. I know a lot of people my age hope so too, and I mean everybody that's been watching it from that era, that Attitude Era hopes so. They come back with it. So that's my take on this whole Jericho comeback, where it's not that, and you know what, I think these videos didn't really work for him. If he came back and just like attacked somebody, or the Undertaker, these videos work for, because the Dead Man, Jericho. I mean, we've seen people come back and they go after somebody, or they interrupt somebody and they're back. That's the way Jericho should have done it. We got the big pop, we started a new feud, and we would have went into stuff. But now it's this whole mystery weirdness, and he's not. It's not like he came back as a. I mean, you can't bring him back as like a whole different character because no, he's too big of a superstar to do that. So it doesn't. I know I'm being negative about it, and don't get me wrong. Jericho is a top superstar. He's up there in my top 20 or so as one of my favorite superstars. But I just didn't like the way he came back. It didn't really interest me with the whole video thing because he did it once before, and you know what? He didn't even say nothing. So, and I hear on next week on Raw, they're gonna do this, bring you the same thing where he doesn't say nothing. And you know what? They also should have done it. That should have been the last thing on Raw with this whole video thing, instead of ending it with the explosion with Kane. Bringing Kane has powers now. So, so it's not like it just doesn't if they ended it like that. It's Jericho, and if he did talk and say something, but now if they're gonna do the same thing on Raw, it's gonna get boring. And until he gets into a feud with somebody, that's when we want to see Jericho. Or is he gonna bring back? He's probably gonna end up bringing back the highlight reel, and get into feud, turning heel, this, that, winning a couple titles again, and there you go. So that's that about the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller Y2J, Chris Jericho. So you know what? Check me out on Friday when I talk with you about SmackDown. It seems that he's not gonna be on SmackDown, just on Raw. So yeah. So catch me on Friday. Peace.